Goff throwing over the middle, and it's picked off Jeremy Chin.
It's not the NFC Championship, but we are getting the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions in Week 11, and I'm excited. Don't miss what I have to say about the A.J. Brown controversy and what I think the keys to the Philadelphia Eagles winning this game are. This is HillTimeSports. I'm your host, Trenton Hill. Let's go. Starting off with what happened last week. Detroit Lions go and beat the tar out of the Commanders 44-22. Jared Goff wasn't sacked at all. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 390 yards. Jameson Williams had 119 of them, a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs had over 170 yards all-purpose and 3 scores. That's a recipe for some winning football, and I'd say they're cooking up something good. Defensively, though, let's talk about that. They didn't get a high pressure rate, 25.7. That's like 4th lowest last week. Didn't get a lot of sacks. I think only 2 against a very beat up and torn down Commanders team. You want to see your defense just eat them alive like they're a carcass and you're a bunch of hyenas. But I think they played really good. This was probably the best game they played all year. As for the Philadelphia Eagles, well, it wasn't pretty. The offense didn't look great. Jalen Hurts overthrew some people, had some balls that weren't thrown right to the receiver, had a few missteps. The running game didn't get going. But all in all, they won 10-7, and they made the play when it counted. Devontae Smith with the deep pass from Jalen Hurts for a touchdown. 10-7 was your final score. Now, their pressure rate was 40%. It was really good. They are having trouble on 3 and outs, 35% for the year. That's the highest since like 2014. And it's not looking good offensively. They're predictable. They're not what they were last year. I think they need to adapt more, but we'll get more into that. Everyone on the Eagles, except for Cam Jurgens, was a full participant. I'm talking Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, you name it, they were all participating. Cam Jurgens looks like he's heading towards playing, but if he needs to sit down, I'm all for it. Get healthy. This offensive line hasn't been the same this year as they were last year, and I don't see any oomph in it. We'll get to that later. Also, the Detroit Lions. There are a lot of injuries. We're talking Sewell, DJ Reed, Kirby Joseph, Laporta, Terrion Arnold, all hit by the injury bug, either limited practice or did not participate in practice. I don't know what their status is going to be in the next few days, but we shall see. It's not looking good for the Detroit Lions injury-wise, just like they didn't have a very good injury history last year. There is a part of me that says, well, Detroit's still a very good team despite all of these injuries. How do they win? Amon-Ra St. Brown goes off. Jahmyr Gibbs gets running. David Montgomery gets running. Goff doesn't turn the ball over at all. The defensive line gets a little more pressure on Jalen Hurts. They stop the run. If they can do all that, it's going to be trouble for the Philadelphia Eagles, who have been struggling on offense. I mean, they're very good at scoring in the red zone, which is something you want to see, and they don't turn the ball over. Jalen Hurts only has 1 interception, so hopefully that continues to be the thing. I think it's only like 4 turnovers on the season. But as for the Eagles' key to victory, they got to control the line of scrimmage. This whole year, I just haven't seen them control the offensive line, the offensive front, like they did last year. It looks like they're tired, fatigued, they're hurt a little bit more. That goes into the defensive side of the ball. They got to control the defensive front, get Jalen Phillips after them, Jalen Carter, all these players, Jordan Davis, Uche, Hunt, you name it, they got to get after Goff, because Goff will pick you apart if you leave him enough time. Now, Adoree Jackson is a liability on that defense. They might kick Cooper DeJean out there if things don't go their way. I think the defensive backs are going to be okay, barring Adoree Jackson just wetting the bed. He had a pretty good game last week, but we'll see what happens. Well, my number one key to winning this game is getting A.J. Brown the ball. Throw him the football. Do some slant routes. Get him in the Michael Irvin role where he's just doing slant routes. You know, that was their bread and butter in the 1990s. I would like to see more of that. Some hitch plays. I think they're going to cloud him. I think they're going to have a second defender on top of A.J. Brown. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. The offense needs to be a little more inspired. Play action pass from your single back formations. Don't just run the ball from the shotgun. I hate when teams run the ball from the shotgun. It's so weird, dude. Like you're taking a handoff. I don't know. I really don't like the idea of running from the shotgun. It's been very predictable when they've done it. They've pitched the ball from the shotgun. I think Jalen Hurts needs to play from behind center. And let's get into A.J. Brown, the situation. A.J. Brown went on a Twitch stream with this friend and said, you know, it's been a SHI, show. Drop me from your fantasy league. He wants to contribute. I get it. The guy is a competitor. You can't fault him for that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he needs to shut his mouth and just play ball. No. I really like that he wants to contribute and he's voicing it. I think that's a good thing. The problem I have is Jalen Hurts kind of brushing it off. And I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good leader, and I think he's a good quarterback. But during the press conference where they were talking about the Lions, he kind of brushed off A.J. Brown to the media, in my opinion. I don't know if that's true, but if A.J. Brown was my receiver and I'm the quarterback, I would be like, hey, this is my guy. I want to get him the ball. It's just the way the offense is constructed right now. It's just not happening. I want to get him the ball as a quarterback. I want to get him the ball. Don't brush him off. Don't brush off your players. Don't act nonchalant about it. And that's my problem with Jalen Hurts sometimes, is that he does act nonchalant. Doesn't really show you what he's thinking. I would love for him to say, hey, yeah, man, I haven't gotten the ball to him. Things just haven't gone our way this year. The offense is struggling. I want us to get better. But I hope he gets the ball this week. I predict A.J. Brown's going to have 70-plus yards and a touchdown. I'm hoping that's what happens. Saquon Barkley, I could see him visibly frustrated. He hasn't been running the way that he wants to, especially in recent weeks. Well, this whole season, except for the Giants game. I predict he gets close to 100 yards and a touchdown. At least I'm hoping. If that happens, Eagles will win handedly. If they can't control the line of scrimmage, if they're not running the ball, if they're getting 3 and outs, I don't think the Eagles are winning this game. It's just I'm just being an honest Eagles fan. I think they can win the game if they can get it to click finally. But if they lose, then I think a lot of people are going to be calling for Patullo's job, including me. I've given him the benefit of the doubt. It's time for him to step up or, get out and just be a passing game coordinator like he was last year, and we get someone else to do the job. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be real with you and what I'm thinking. But let me know what you guys think. You guys think the Eagles are going to win? You think the Lions are going to win? I think this game could go either way depending on the situation. I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Stay blessed.